Hello. Hi everyone, it is Camille with MyMommyStyle, and I'm so excited today to be sharing with you cleaning hacks to save you time and your sanity. As a mom, we're always running from place to place, all over the place, just cleaning and running everywhere. This morning I've already done swimming lessons and taken my son to Scouts and grocery shopping and 2 babies in naps, and I am just hoping that they behave and that they are sleeping, which they are. So they're sleeping. I came on here to share these with you today. I am doing this video in partnership with Clorox, and I'm so excited to share with you things that save me time. So if you're just tuning in, I'd love to hear where you are tuning in from. And last time when I was live, I was so bad at not seeing comments. So this time I'm going to make sure that I actually see your comments, because that was a struggle last time. If for some reason you're struggling with seeing connectivity or seeing the video, a better way to catch everything that you're seeing now is to watch it on desktop or tablet. Sometimes the server on Facebook can be fritzy and cut in and out, so that's a good way to be able to stay connected if that's an issue for you. Another thing to know is that I go live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. with Shane Horlacher doing a cooking show. We share recipes that are authentic and also good weeknight healthy everyday meals. So that's a really fun show to check into. But for today on my channel, so I'm typically on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, but last night we got stuck in a canyon way later than we should have been. It was kind of a summer adventure that took a little bit longer than we had planned. So that's why I am here live today. But depending on how many people are engaged today, I'm thinking maybe daytime might be better for moms rather than night, but I'm not sure. It's always a toss-up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get jumping into everything that I have to share with you today, and I am super excited. So I don't know about you, but any way that I can save time cleaning is the way to go, right? We always want to be saving time as moms and knowing that we are getting things done when we need to. Oh, Tracy, there you are. Hi, how are you? Hi, Melissa. So glad to see that people are sharing. And hey, Melissa, if you could check and see, Paul was going to be sharing this video for me, and if you could just tag him really quick and maybe see if he's doing that. He is my husband, and he is so helpful to share this to our live groups and everything that we have going on. So if you want to share your cleaning tips as I am sharing this today, I would love to hear them. So we have Melissa here. Anyone else want to pop in and say hi? I can actually see your comments today. Last time I did live, I forgot to swipe and missed out on a lot of comments, and it's so hot today. I'm like already sweating. Okay. So we just finished our swimming lessons for summer, and we're ready to get back into a routine. And a couple of weeks ago, I shared some ways to share chore charts with your children if you want to check back on those. But today we're going to be sharing cleaning tips for you, mostly tips as a mom, but if you want to be looking at ideas to have your kids help cleaning, there are posts on that as well. So you're welcome to link through to the link that is in the description if you want to get more of that. And if you share this to your wall, it'll actually be shared to your timeline, and it helps us out a lot at MyMommyStyle. So I am a mother of 4 children, 9, 6, 3, and my baby just turned 1 last week. So we are always on the go. We have a lot to do, and so cleaning for me has to be done efficiently, or it just doesn't get done. Your eyelashes look amazing. Thank you. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring these shortcuts to you today. An expert opinion on cleaning hacks that I have read and heard many times is for you to start the day by making your bed. And I've got to admit that I am not very good at that, but it sets the tone for at least accomplishing something. So some days, if you get no cleaning done, at least you've made your bed. And I think that that is a great habit to get into, just because it makes the room look so much more complete and finished. And even if that is the only thing you get done that day, that's okay, because as moms, we have days like that. We're making the bed, that's our accomplishment, and you are good. Keeping the kids alive and healthy is the most important thing. So making your bed is a good way to start the day. And one tip that I always have tried to do as a mom in my household is to have the house work for me. So anytime before I leave the house for the day, I try my very best to get the machines going. And what I mean by that is get a load in the washing machine. So even if I'm leaving the house, I know that if I'm leaving the house, something in the house is working for me. That could also be starting the dishwasher. Typically in my routine, I like to do the dishes at night and I unload them in the morning while we're doing breakfast. And that's actually my daughter's new summer job. She has the same summer job for the whole summer. She is 6 years old, and so her jobs for this summer are to keep her room clean and to unload the dishwasher in the morning. But during the school year, because things are busier and she doesn't have as much time, typically I will start the dishes at night so that in the morning we can unload and then fill as we go through the day. And again, start it at night, unload in the morning. So before I leave the house for the day, I like to get a load of laundry in the washing machine, and if I can, have something in the house that's working for me, whether it's the dishwasher or the washing machine. So that's a great place to start. And then another thing that I always want to do every single day is to do clean sweeps. Now what I mean is it's at the very end of the day before you are leaving to go to bed, I guess. I like to bring a bag with me or a basket and go through the house and do what I call clean sweeps. And sometimes I'll have my kids join in on this with me, and we'll take 5 minutes and put on some fun music. Lately, our favorite is Yo Ho, Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me. And we will do clean sweeps in the house. And we'll take 5 minutes and go through the house and just do a clean sweep and pick up all the clutter, put it in the basket, and everyone is in charge of putting the things where they need to go. Depending on the age of your kids, you could have them have their own clean sweep bag or basket that they put their things into at the end of the day. Another idea with those baskets is you can put them on the stairs. I've seen this. It depends on your house, like if this makes sense for you or not. So in our house, our kitchen and living area are on the main floor and the bedrooms are upstairs. So a lot of times we'll get things around the house that are collected, and I will have a basket or a place at the stairs where things go into that need to be taken upstairs. And so depending on the age of your kids, you might have a small basket for each kid that they're in charge of emptying at the end of the day, or you could have it just be one shared basket that you just make sure everyone helps with that clean sweep at the end of the day to get everything out. Does anyone have ideas for removing clutter? Because that is a fun idea that I've heard. Another idea that I try to keep and engage with is to do the one-touch system. So the one-touch system is anytime that you bring something into the house, you only touch it one time before it goes into the place where it needs to be permanently. It's home. If you know about Cone Marie or the Cone Marie method, her whole shtick is about having everything have its own home in your house, a place that it belongs. So for example, if you go out to get the mail, you touch that mail once and then you put it in the place where it goes. So after I go through my mail, to keep it a one-touch system and control paper clutter, what I will do is I use clipboards. So with clipboards, I have a clipboard for everyone in the family. So when my kids come home from school, they have their own clipboard where they put their special papers that I need to see. And then we have them all stacked up right next to each other. So everyone has their own clipboard in the house. And I even create a clipboard for myself and for my husband so that if there are special bills or things that need to be signed, he has his own clipboard and he can see what special attention needs to be spent. So if it's junk mail and I can just go through it quickly, I throw that away. If it's important, I put it on the clipboard, and everyone has their own clipboard so that they know what to do with that. Another idea for clipboard is to use them in your cleaning. So if you have rooms that need to be cleaned, I like to have a chore chart that is laminated for my kids, and they can do check marks on their clipboard to pass off the things that need to be done. So you can have a clipboard per room, or an idea that I have also done is have each kid have their own clipboard. It's a cleaning clipboard that they take around with them and they check off the tasks as they go. And that's been really helpful to keep things straight and knowing what things need to get done, because sometimes paper is my biggest mess of all. So clipboards have saved me not only in paper junk that comes in from the mailbox, but also from school, and they also help with cleaning up with your kids with rooms. And they kind of feel really official when they have their clipboard and they can check it off. And if you want to, you can create clipboards or laminated sheets like per room, so that you can just flip those from one person to the next if you decide you're going to switch up who has that job that day. And that makes it really handy just to have clipboards. So you can get these anywhere. You can buy them online, or of course just pick them up at your grocery store, but clipboards are awesome. So that is one of my favorites. Okay, so and getting into the cleaning hacks, so I love Clorox micro scrubbers. So one thing that I despise is dried up food on my counter, or when the baby throws around, it's especially if you mix anything for your baby with like rice cereal or oatmeal or anything like that, it just gets really hard after it has dried out and you missed it. These micro scrubbers are textured, so you can scrub so well with these little scrubbers with those little bits that stick on hard. Another idea is if I have an especially hard spot that I'm having a hard time getting to, I will let it soak with a wipe for a minute, get to the rest of the kitchen, come back in 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's much easier to scrub out. And the texture on these is so helpful for the kitchen and for the bathroom because of the micro scrubbers and the texture to be able to get everything off that you need to. How often do you look at important papers on the clipboards, and where do you put the papers after you take care of them, like bills? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so we use our clipboard every day. So the goal is for me to put those important bills and paperwork on the clipboard every day that my husband will look at once he gets home from work, or my kids will give me every day after school. And if they have specific papers that I need to sign, they know that those need to go on the clipboard. So after we are done paying that bill, it goes into a filing system in my office. And I can actually spin my camera around so you can see a quick view of my office and what that looks like. So I'll show you, because I'm actually just right here in the office, so that's handy. So this is my home office, and I'll give you a quick span. So I have 2 desks in my home office. That's my desk. And that's considered the kids' desk. So when we are in here, if I'm working or if they need to get things done, then we have 2 desks to be able to work at, and my husband will also do work with me too. And so I love having that 2-desk system because they can be in here and work with mommy, or even have 2 kids working at the same time, and it makes it really more peaceful because they can still be by me. Sorry about the camera, but they have their own designated space. So our filing system, I'm going to see if I can get this at the right angle. So this is from IKEA, and it's just, it has like a nice clean face so you can't see what's inside, but there is a filing system. Let me see if I can finagle this. Okay, so here's our filing system. It has a pull-out drawer, and everything is just filed into that system after we do the bill, or the important paperwork. And so everything is in those files after we go through that paperwork. And I put that away in there. So, and there's like the printer and the shredder and all of that stuff is under there. So that's what it looks like. And for my kids, for their special paperwork that they want to save, like we just had the end of the school year, right? So at the end of the year, I have their own special bin that they get to keep their special paperwork and art projects in, so that they can decide later on in life what they want to get rid of. I try to just save the very most special things, and throughout the year, if there's something I really love, I'll take a picture of it and put it on my Instagram account so that I know that I can print those into my chapbooks later, and it just cuts down a lot on the paperwork. And my favorite thing is to have my kids hold their art project or whatever it is that they finished, so that it's a picture of them with their artwork, and I can remember who it was that did it, how old they were, and then I write a description of what that project was. So that's kind of a side note. I didn't plan to share that, but thank you for your question. It's helpful for you to ask questions because that's what we do. So that's our filing for our bills. Okay, so another cleaning hack that I love, and I came up with this myself, so I'm really proud of this one. Okay, so sippy cups are like the bane of my existence as a mom. I don't know if you go, like, they get lost or things happen and you get nasty, dirty sippy cups that you find weeks later, maybe months, that are just so gross. So I love the ones that have a filter though, because they don't spill out everywhere and make a mess, but they're really hard to clean in there. And if you've ever had some sippy cups that have been left behind, give me some hearts and likes, because I know you're out there, because it happens to me all the time. But they are super hard to clean. And so one thing that I have done that has been really helpful for me is, ta-da, I like to keep a paintbrush next to my sink when I'm doing my dishes. Yes, lots of hearts and likes. Thank you. You know what I'm talking about. So I keep a paintbrush next to my sink so that when I'm washing the dishes or preparing them to go in the dishwasher, I always take the filter out, and then I use my paintbrush to clean in those nooks and right inside those tiny little holes that get disgusting, right? And if you want to, you can throw the paintbrush into the dishwasher and it cleans at the same time. So I always keep this paintbrush next to my dishwasher, or when I'm doing the dishes, and clean out those little spots. And you can get those little black, they can be all colors, let's be honest, but it's like really gross. So I always keep a paintbrush next to my dishwasher, and that has saved me a ton of time. If you like these tips, share this to your wall and it will be saved on your timeline, and you can go back to it later. And it also helps me for people to know that we're live. So share it, and I would love it if you liked my page, My Mommy Style, because I'll be sharing more like this all the time. So that is one of my favorites. Okay, next we're going to talk a little bit about the bathroom, which so gross, right? Okay, this is a side note, but I love kitchen gadgets for my kids to play with as toys because they're easy to wash, and why not dip in hot water and a few drops of dishwasher liquid? I do use hot water and dish liquid, and those little nooks and crannies are hard to get into, but yes, definitely use your hot water and dish liquid detergent. Okay, so in the bathroom, I love kitchen tools as toys. I think they're a lot of fun. Like, this is a fun way to whip up bubbles in the bath for your kids, and they're really easy to wash, and you can just throw them in the dishwasher and it's not a problem for, making sure that you get them really clean. So that's a fun idea. And this is mom life, you guys. We're getting real. So I don't know if your kids have ever put anything in the toilet that they are not supposed to, because my son just turned 1 and he is right at that stage where he wants to be getting into everything, reaches his hands into things he shouldn't be, or puts things into the toilet that shouldn't be. My tip to you as a mom hack is to have bathroom tongs that just stay in the bathroom. You'll probably want to mark them a special way to know that they are your bathroom tongs. They don't belong in the kitchen, but these are used to fish things out, fish things out of the bathroom, toilet, or if you have the unfortunate event, fish poop out of the tub. Because I don't know if your kids have ever pooped in the tub, and show me likes and hearts if they have, because it happens. You can use these tongs, your special bathroom tongs, to fish it out and get them in the toilet, because it's so gross. But you can keep special tongs in there, and then, just keep them in a special, little garbage pail like this or something that you think would be helpful, to go ahead and put those in there so it just stays in its own special little home, and they're not played with, but they're used to fish things out of the bathroom, whether it's the toilet or the bathtub. That's a good idea. Bubbles with hands isn't fun, right? Yeah, it's just kind of a fun way to mix it up a little bit. So bathroom tongs, mark them, use them, and you're welcome, because it will, if it hasn't happened, it will happen. So another thing that I like to do in all of my garbage bags is to keep the roll of garbage sacks at the bottom of your garbage so you never lose them. So I have family who owns a janitorial company, and this is a trick that I learned from them, because they always keep their new rolls at the bottom of their garbage cans so that you're never searching for new rolls and you know exactly where they are. So that is one thing that's super helpful if you need a new bag. Just keep it at the bottom. I also do that at the bottom of my diaper pail as well. I just keep the bags right underneath as well, so you know right where to find them. Okay, next up. Okay, so I like to use the Clorox Cleaning Bleach Gel for my shower in the corners. And I like it because it stays in place, but it's also really strong and will get rid of all of the gunk in the corners. So I will go ahead and squirt this along the corners of the shower and let it sit while I'm cleaning other parts of the bathroom. And then I'll come back in a minute and scrub with my brush. Another idea that you could use is to clean the shower while you're in the shower. I know a lot of people that actually do that because sometimes it's awkward to clean the walls of the shower and not get wet. And if you are in the shower and that's what your intention is, you can just go in and clean the shower. That's another hack that can save you time. It cleans your kitchen sink wonderfully as well. Yeah, it's just really awesome. I love it. So one thing that I will do sometimes if I'm in a hurry for cleaning my bathroom is I will clean the bathroom while my kids are taking a bath. So if I need to like get a really good scrub on the sinks or even on the toilet, I will get that work done while the kids are taking a bath. And they don't mind. They're having a good time. I'm in there with them, and it's double duty where you're taking those 10 minutes to just clean up the bathroom. I used to do that, says Crystal. Oh, did you clean the bath or the shower while you were in it? I think that's what you're saying. My husband does that, says Lizzie. Yeah, a lot of people do, and some people prefer not to do that, and that's okay. But it saves you time. It's just double duty where sometimes you're short on time. I know I am, and so that's a really helpful tip, either to clean the bathroom while your kids are taking a bath, or sometimes, it sounds funny at the same time. It does sound kind of funny. One thing that I have done if we're in a hurry for bedtime, but I really want to get a book in with my kids, is I'll read them a book while they're taking a bath and playing with their toys. And they love that because you're still getting story time in and they can kind of have their hands busy while they play, but it's an easy mom hack to do so that you're doing things at the same time. I do it every day, says Rose. Yeah, and some people will use a squeegee, and Rose, I'm curious if you do this, squeegee your walls every time so they don't get hard water droplets. Let's see, I missed that one. Shower, let's see. Sometimes there are too many fumes from the cleaner in the shower though. Yes, so if you're doing something that does have more like a bleach to it, I wouldn't suggest that. But if it's more like a daily maintenance, then it's fine. So it doesn't build up, yes. I still do this to save time, and sometimes I can't bend very good to get all the corners. Much easier, yeah. I believe Clorox also makes gel spray. Works great too. Oh, I haven't tried the gel spray. I keep a magic eraser in the shower. That's a great idea. That actually, I was just about to talk about that next. Okay. So these are amazing. I love to use magic erasers on any mishaps that happen. One time my son used permanent marker on our wood floor. It's like a wood laminate floor, like a pergo type floor, and this worked wonderfully. Just last week though, where is my, not in this chair I'm sitting in, but the one at the other desk, he took a pen to my leather chair. He's 3, so bless his heart. But he did that, and a hack that came to mind was to use hairspray. Where's my hairspray? I had it in here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I just sprayed hairspray on the leather seat, and you kind of have to let it soak for a quick minute and just get a wet rag, a little bit wet, a little bit dry, and soak it with the hairspray and scrub, and I was able to get the pen out of the leather seat. You can still see tiny bits of traces of it, but it's mostly gone. If you were to look at the chair, you wouldn't think, oh, that was drawn on, but if you look close, you can see it. So hairspray for pen. You could use fish soap and vinegar in those dish scrubbing wands and leave that in the shower, no harsh fumes. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, dish soap. Cool. Yeah, so keep hairspray in mind when you have an ink incident, because that saved me. And I was so glad that I knew that hack because it was so helpful. Okay, so vinegar, let me just say, vinegar and baking soda are like your best friends. These can be used in so many cleaning applications. I can't even tell you. Where did I put my paper? I'll just have to do it from memory. So one thing that I like to do with vinegar is to clean my microwave. So I don't like using sponges in general. I tend to avoid them. But one way that you can clean your sponge or your microwave is to use like a part vinegar, part water, equal parts, and put it in a bowl, in a dish with your, well, let's see. There's 2 different ways you can do this. So I'm sure there's a lot more, actually. So if you're wanting to clean your sponge, you can just put it right into the microwave, make sure it's nice and moist, and nuke it in the microwave and with vinegar and water, and that will help to kill bacteria. If you're wanting to clean your microwave, you can actually do the same thing with equal parts vinegar and water with a really moist sponge, and once you microwave it, it will make the inside of your microwave really soft, and also the little bits of food and everything. And then after that, you can use the sponge to clean the inside, and it does double duty for being able to clean it and also like humidify it at the same time, so it's easier to clean. I also love vinegar for removing hard water spots. Baking soda you can use on microfiber couches if you are wanting to remove oily spots like that come from hair or different things like that. It's a natural deodorizer as well. So I'm sure you could Google vinegar and baking soda in general, and there are like thousands of things. Let's see. I have a 4-month-old boy and 3 girls, 3, 4, 9, and my 3-year-old has marked all my walls with permanent marker and some nail polish, and I can't get nail polish off with the magic eraser, but it works for permanent marker. Yeah, unfortunately that nail polish is a bugger. The only thing that I know about nail polish is to use nail polish remover, honestly, and it's not good. Keep it up high and repaint the walls when the kids grow up, because that's a hard one, huh? Okay, let's see. Can you share some recommended schedules of how often one should do a deep clean or superficial clean of a room, study, living? Yeah, so for me, I like to try to do a deep clean, and it depends on what you consider deep, because that could be like your seasonal things where you really get deep. But I think you're referring more to like cleaning the bathrooms and that kind of deep cleaning. I like to do that type of deep cleaning once a week, but I love to do daily maintenance. So one thing that's really good for daily maintenance are disinfecting wipes from Clorox. So I like to keep one underneath each sink in my bathroom, and to do a quick wipe down, especially if you have guests coming over. This is a really awesome tool to be able to wipe things down. And then every night I like to do my clean sweep that I talked about earlier when I first started at the end of the day. And music always helps me, because I get cranky at the end of the day, and music always makes me feel so much better. So I will turn on some music. Sometimes it involves the kids, sometimes it doesn't. But just for me personally, music always makes me feel better, and I do a better job of doing a clean sweep. So it's a good idea to keep a bag with you, make sure all of the surfaces are clear in the floor, and to go through and just keep clutter picked up, so that when it is time to get more into the deep clean of like dusting and vacuuming and doing the bathrooms and everything else, that's typically more like a once a week thing. So socks. Finding mates to your socks. That's another thing as a mom that is like so hard, right? So if you want to save the mates to your socks, a really good hack is to put them in a small mesh bag before you do the laundry. And I am trying, this is kind of a new thing for me, because my kids are just getting to those ages where I feel like they can do things like this. I am trying to make it so that my kids put all of their socks into their own mesh bag as well, and I'm going to label it so that they know. And I might sew on like a ribbon or something so they know which color is theirs, but a mesh bag to keep their socks together, because then it's so much easier to know where your socks are when you take them off. And then if you just throw this whole thing into the wash, it's so much easier to put them together. And so that's a new thing that I am going to be doing with my kids, and I feel like it's something that they can handle, you know, with keeping their socks together. And it will save my sanity. I also think that black socks for boys are a lot easier, that they're just all one brand, all the same, they don't show dirt as much, and just sticking more with white socks for my girl. I am horrible at keeping the mates together. I don't know what it is. Am I the only one? Tell me. Because socks are, I swear, they just disappear. Okay, so another really cool hack that you might want to try, if you have broken glass and you don't know where the tiny itty bitty parts are after you've done the main cleanup, is to use a piece of bread. Use a piece of bread to pick up the little shards that you can't even see, because the bread will absorb those little shards of glass and help you pick it up better than picking it up with your hands. And of course, like, do your very best to clean it up as best you can, but this is really helpful for the teeny itty bitty parts that are hard to pick up or that you can't see. So use a piece of bread and that will help to pick it up better, because it has a soft porous, you know, it'll just grab onto it. Sometimes a lot better than we can, or that we can even see. So that's a really fun hack. Has anyone ever tried that? And where are you tuning in from? I still want to hear where everyone is tuning in from. Okay. So, dryer sheets are another friend of mine. This is one of my other favorite hacks. So, with a dryer sheet, it is so easy to use them as a natural deodorizer. Well, I shouldn't say natural, because they're not like earth-made, but easy deodorizer. So one thing that you can do is to keep a dryer sheet at the bottom of your diaper pail. I like to do that and swap that out every time that I change the garbage in and out. Maybe not every time, but you'll notice when it's not doing its job as well. Another really good idea is that you can use this on water spots. It actually helps keep dust off of baseboards, so you can run it along the baseboards, and it gives it just enough of like a film that deflects the dust, if that makes sense. So you can wipe it along your baseboards and it helps them not gather up as much dust, and it also helps to remove spots, like water spots. So give that a try, because that's also really helpful. Sometimes I like to keep these where the shoes are kept, or things that get really stinky. So yeah, does anyone know of any other hacks for dryer sheets? Because there's a lot of things you can do with them actually, and everyone has them. They're just easy to use. If you're having static cling, you can hurry and wipe it on your skirt. I've done that sometimes, where it just helps things lay flatter or better on against your skin. So a natural deodorizer that I love to use in the kitchen is to throw orange peels or lemon peels into the disposal so that it naturally deodorizes it. And I went to go to the store today to buy oranges, and I forgot. I had 3 kids with me, and I was like, this just isn't happening. Because I left the store and I didn't have it. But this is to represent that. So if you have lemon peels or orange peels, and anytime that I peel those, I never put them in the garbage, unless I'm doing like a compost pile. But most often, I just put them in the disposal, and it will naturally deodorize, so it's not smelly, and it just helps clean it up down there, because it's hard. That's a hard spot to clean. I remember I watched an Oprah once. I miss Oprah. And they did a survey of seeing the dirtiest place of your home, and people thought, oh, it's got to be the toilet, it's got to be maybe the bathroom in general, like the sink area, or all these different places. And the number one place that they found was the very, very dirtiest was your kitchen sink, and everything surrounding that. So your faucet, the actual sink itself, and I think that oftentimes that can be forgotten. But a spot that was particularly messy or dirty or had a lot of bacteria was behind the faucet. So that's a great place to be able to clean and use something like that below that. Oh my goodness, there's been so many comments and I was stuck on one. Okay, what do you do with a husband who sucks at cleaning? My husband just tuned in, and oh my goodness, I don't know. Encourage him and love him and compliment him. You know what? When I got married to my husband, his wife, that was really confusing. His sister said, the best thing to do for your husband to help them keep cleaning is to compliment them when they do what they do, so that they want to keep helping. So I try to do that. Melissa says, I buy all the same color brand sock for each person. It's boring, but it saves my sanity. I know. I get tricked with that because sometimes there's so many cute socks for my girl to wear, but it's just a mess. They just get lost. So I'm kind of going into all the same thing, all the same. I hate matching socks. I get all white socks for my daughter. I hate ones with the same type of print because I can never find the match. Hi to Nell from Spokane and Crystal from Northeast Pennsylvania. I keep them in my camper to keep mice out in the winter. Okay, Kathy, I'm behind. I missed that comment before, so now I'm trying to think of what it was that what you're keeping out. Mice don't like them. Dryer sheets clean off the dryer and washer, and it does a great job. That's true. While you're just sitting there, and the washing machine gets kind of gross. I rub them on staticky pants. Works awesome. Hi, Kathy from Vermont. Rub your dryer sheet on your hairbrush for static, especially in the winter. That's a great idea. So I have a brush that I love that's called the No Tangle brush, or like wet hair brush, and that has helped a lot with static for me. But that's a really good idea to use the dryer sheet. I hadn't thought of that. Sorry about missing those comments. I got stuck on one and so Jody says dryer sheets. So for those of you who are just tuning in, I am Camille from MyMommyStyle. I would love it if you liked my page and shared this to your wall. And if you happen to see, if you've missed these hacks, you can share it to your wall so that you can watch it back when we're done. And you can also look at the post that I've listed below that has these hacks, but I actually added in a bunch of bonus ones that I hadn't put in that post, so you might want to share it too so you can see them all. Okay, those are really good comments. But I'm curious what I missed about the mice, that mice don't like them. Are you talking about dryer sheets? I'm not sure. Someone tell me what I missed, because I'm not sure about that. But those are really good tips. Okay, so another hack that I love is to buy traveling cleaning caddies that you can either keep one under each bathroom so that you can easily pull it out and have what you need. It keeps them organized and all in one place, and I keep gloves in each container just by itself. Oh, mice don't like dryer sheets. That's what you're talking about. Hey, Mandy. So that's one thing that I like to do. Another option, if you're more limited for space, is just to have one main cleaning caddy that you just take along with you as you clean. I know that another thing that people like to do with a caddy is also to wear an apron that has a lot of pockets. That's where, if it's kind of like an awesome fanny pack or something where you can keep things in your pockets as you go. And for me, I always want to have music on. So my very favorite is to have wireless earphones in so I can be folding laundry and going. And oftentimes, because that's the only time I ever get a chance to watch my shows, my TV shows, is I'll have it playing and wear my earphones. And then it becomes more like an audiobook. I know it's not as exciting as watching your TV show, but it makes it so that you can at least be listening to it and it becomes more like an audiobook. And I know that might sound weird. Am I the only one that does that? I also watch my shows a lot of time when I'm doing my dishes at night. My husband does help with putting the kids to bed, so a lot of times the bath time prep, getting them ready for bed is his thing, and I clean up the kitchen because he hates dishes. And if he's still on here, he can say that's true. And while I'm doing the dishes, I'll put in my wireless headset and I can watch my shows while I'm doing the dishes. And I'll also do that while I'm folding laundry, because oftentimes that's the only time that the kids leave me alone is when I'm cleaning. My sister actually said that one. She's like, if you ever need the kids to leave you alone, just tell them it's time to clean and they'll all run away from you, which I thought was hilarious. Hey, Mandy, yay for cleaning. I do the same thing, keeps me focused. I know, I swear that when I've listened to an audiobook or I'm watching a TV show or I'm listening to a podcast and I'm cleaning, I'm oftentimes in a much better mood and I'm much more willing to clean longer because I'm being entertained at the same time. And sometimes it's the only time I get to watch my shows is when I'm cleaning or doing those things. Paul says I admit nothing. So I want to hear if there's any other cleaning hacks for you that you have, because I would love to hear them. And I also was going to, where did that go? For those of you that missed this, I am curious what you think about, let's see, I set a timer for each room. I'm competitive, so I like to try to beat the clock. That's a good idea, Melissa. I love to set a timer too, especially for my kids, and for myself, But sometimes I'll say, okay, we're going to spend 5 minutes on every room. Or for myself, I need to get this done. I have 15 minutes. I'm going to do this for however long. And I'm curious, Melissa, how you like to do yours as well. I have bought egg timers for my kids before, where they have their own special timer that they can use, and that applies to like when they're reading their books that they need to do for school, or cleaning their rooms or whatever, and they just think it's fun because they have their own little egg timer and they don't have to worry about me nagging them. But we can say, okay, you have 20 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it might be. But yeah, setting a timer for yourself is good too. It really does kind of give you a kick in the pants when you're feeling tired, because that's for sure, that happens to me all the time. So setting a timer, playing music. Sometimes if I am listening to music and I have favorites that I love, I will always save them to a playlist that I know kind of makes me feel happier and peppier, and that helps with cleaning too, because if you're listening to something you love, oftentimes you can go longer and have fun. So that's a really good tip too. It also is a good workout. Oh my word. I believe it. Yes. A lot of times you'll find that you get good cardio in by like going up and down the stairs and vacuuming and blah. It's a good workout to get those things done with a timer. So any other tips that anyone wants to share? Let me hear them. Let me hear. And this is a fun tip I just thought of that my mom always did. So she has a drawer. She still does it to this day with her grandkids. She has a drawer in her kitchen that is considered the kid drawer, where she'll open it up and it's filled with fun kitchen tools that the kids are okay to play with, like measuring cups or things like this, like a whisk or little spoons. And while she's cleaning or cooking, to make it so that the little ones are happy and content, they can just get into that drawer, and everything in that drawer is good. Like you can play with it, and it's easy to wash too. I have some toys that I've linked to on the blog post that are dishwasher friendly toys that can be taken apart and washed in the dishwasher. I don't know about you, but have you ever seen like rubber duckies that are cut in half after they've been in the bath, and on the inside they're like black and grimy and like the sickest thing you've ever seen? So try to find bath toys that you can put in the dishwasher, and that will save you some very gross things you'll have to clean. I fold my clothes right out of the dryer. They don't get wrinkly and they don't stay in a basket for a week. Yes, Melissa, I'm so glad you brought up that tip. One of my favorite things that I bought last year for my laundry room is a really small shelf. I think it's meant to be used like at an entryway, but it has a small shelf on the top and or maybe it's for a bathroom. I'm not sure what it's used for, but it has a rack. It's like a shelf at the top, a bar across the middle, and then hooks along the bottom. And I use that to hang up the clothes right after they've come out of the washing or the dryer, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. And it has made my clothes so much less wrinkly because I rarely iron. I hate ironing. So being able to hang it up right away or fold it right away is so helpful. So when at the very beginning we talked about having a load of wash going at the beginning of the day, that's a great way by the end of the day to get into the routine of having the kids help you put the laundry away at the end of the day. So I try to get that into the dryer sometime in the early afternoon so that by the night we can help each other with putting the clothes away. And what I say to my kids that they love is I'll say a delivery for Jackson, and I yell out who the delivery is for, and it makes it more fun. At least they seem to respond to it really well, is if I say a delivery for, like it's this exciting thing. And then they each come in taking turns, and I'll hand them their clothes on the hanger or their folded up clothes or whatever it might be, and they take turns putting their things away as I'm folding and hanging, and it's delivery time, laundry delivery. And I just say delivery, and that's what we do. Gain laundry soap is bred to shampoo your rug. Oh, is great. There you go. Gain laundry soap is great for shampooing your rugs. Oh, that's a great idea. Rugs are hard to clean. I have a love-hate relationship with rugs because I love how they look in a room, but they can be so hard to clean. So that's a good tip. Did I miss? Okay, so that looks like, yeah, so laundry delivery at the end of the day. And this is just a side note. but I am redoing my laundry room, and if my husband's still watching, he's going to help me, and I'm going to show a before and after of building shelves and everything. But I have a bunch of mixed matched laundry baskets right now, and I've been wanting to look for something a little more streamlined so they're all the same. And I found these galvanized buckets today, and they are big, like nice big domes. And I bought 6 of them because I have 6 people in my family, and I'm going to cut out vinyl and label them with each person's name on them. And the thing about galvanized buckets is they are hard to find during the year, but right now, because it is summertime and summer for barbecues and everything else, they'll have galvanized everything because it's summer. So with these big buckets, it's a great time to buy them for laundry baskets if you like that look. If you do, show me some likes, because I think that it just makes it look so kind of classy, like stainless steel, but then it's easy to like label it with their names on it. So I actually have a special like mesh basket where they drop their dirty things into, and then as I'm dividing up their laundry, sometimes I just line up their bins and put them each in their own bins and send them on their way with their own bin. But I'm hoping that I think it's going to be the perfect size. So if you want to get a laundry bin like that, just check your local stores right now, because the galvanized bins are all in for barbecues and everything right now. Dryer sheets are great for baseboards. Joy, I shared that earlier. That's actually a tip that I was talking about. I use vinegar in my washer when one of mine had an accident. Gets pee smells out first time. Also, if you have a wet towel left laying around. Oh, yes, that's such a good idea. So I'm curious about with the vinegar, how much do you put into your load? Because vinegar is something my mom has always used for washing her floors, and it's a very natural way to clean and deodorize. So I'm curious, that's a really good idea for pee smells. So in the blog post that is in the description, if you've ever had melted crayon in your laundry, we have a great like #1 way to get crayons out of your laundry if you've ever had melted crayon. And that is something that my blog partner Melissa shared, and she has so many good hacks, and that is one that I know has helped a lot of people, because we get a lot of traffic to that post about getting laundry out, or getting the melted crayon out of your laundry, which happens because I do laundry for my boys, and there are like sticks and rocks and all sorts of things. Fast way to hang shirts: I put my arm through the neck and load about 10 on my arm. Then I grab a hanger and put one shirt over the hanger at a time. Hard to explain, but it works. Ooh, Jenny, I'm trying to like imagine that. Put your arm through the neck and load about 10 on my arm. Okay, so I think you're saying you like you fish your arm through the neck and arm of the shirt, and then you go through and hook through it like this. Tell me if I'm understanding that right. That sounds really smart. I like that. Vinegar won't damage the washer. No, vinegar is actually a really good natural cleaning agent that you can use to clean your dishwasher and your washing machine. So if you're ever feeling like things are getting like smelly or kind of mildewy, or there's just a lot going on in there, you can wash with vinegar only, and it helps clear things out so it's not so gunky. Because I think a lot of times we forget to clean the things that clean for us. Arm through the neck and come out through the bottom. Oh, so arm through the neck, come through the bottom, and then the hanger goes in as you pull them each out. Yes? So right through the shirt. That's a really good tip. I'd never heard of that one. Thank you for sharing that. And for those of you who have done vinegar to clean your dishwasher or your washing machine, you could Google that and see exactly how much, because I am not sure. I want to say it's like maybe a half a cup would work, or a cup, but I'm not sure. So if anyone knows exactly how much vinegar, please say, because I am not sure about that. But my mom would always mix vinegar with water, a warm bucket of water, or she'd just put it right in the sink, and she would fill up the sink with water and vinegar, and then use a mop to go through our kitchen floors, and she loved to clean that way. For me, cleaning my floors, I oftentimes will vacuum my floors rather than sweeping, depending on my time and what is on the floor. But I find that vacuuming first really helps me. I have a vacuum that can go to hardwood and then carpeted carpet. So I'll vacuum, getting all the main big pieces up. And I love to steam my floors with just water, which I think is so awesome. So I have a new steaming mop that I use, and just the steam takes care of business, and it helps clean up those really hard bits on the floor too, because it has the heat that goes with it. And I can link to the mop that I really like, because that saves me a ton of time. So I don't know, floors are the worst thing to me. But another good way to use vinegar when you're cleaning is if you want to use a toothbrush and like getting in around faucet, sinks, or hard water buildup, or when it starts to look like yellow or white or really gunky, is to use a toothbrush to really get in there and be able to scrub those little bits, and it helps get all of the junk out. So that is everything that I've prepared for you today, and I'm so happy that we had such a good time. Thank you for tuning in. And I do live every single week. Tuesday nights I do a cooking show at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with my friend Shane. And then Thursdays at 9 p.m. I do mom lifestyle things like this. But I've had a lot of people on during the day, so I'm trying to decide if I should keep doing the nighttime thing or do a daytime. So if you have an opinion, I would love to hear if you think daytime, like this hour, is good, or if you think nighttime is better, because I'm going back and forth on whether I should try to do like a noon, 1 o'clock hour time slot, or if I should do nighttime. It's a mix-up, because sometimes the kids don't go down for their naps as well as you'd like them to. And I'm thinking I'm going to be sharing some sleeping tips for babies and toddlers on the next Facebook Live. So if you have ideas of anything that you'd want me to cover, please let me know. Message me. I got a lot of questions about these cleaning hacks, and so it was so fun to share that with you today. And Kanika says vinegar can be used in place of rinse aid in the dishwasher. Yeah, so just fill up your little cleaning spot with vinegar. Thank you. So I don't think it's necessarily a big deal exactly how much you use, just don't go crazy. Fill up your little dish. Thanks for saying that, Kanika. I appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining us, and thanks to Clorox for partnering with me on this Facebook Live. And I hope you subscribe to my show by liking my Facebook. You can also text 40404 and text follow MMS. And that way, every time that I go live, you can get a text message letting you know that I am live. Joy says baking powder and hydrogen peroxide to clean those cookie sheets. Oh, the cookie sheets, that's such a good idea. Baking powder and hydrogen peroxide, again, are just, they pack a punch. They're really incredible together. Thank you so much, Joy, for sharing that. I just realized I had this wristband on the whole time from being with my kids. Okay, well, thank you for all of your tips, and I'm going to sign out now and just say thank you, and I will check in with you later.